Hey guys, so since my channel has been on the theme of old school Yu-Gi-Oh with the History Challenge series, I thought it would be fun and appropriate to do this video. So here it is, top 5 school playground shenanigans that were broken and legal in the school playground meta of Yu-Gi-Oh. And just to clarify before we start, yes, we did have a time where information on Yu-Gi-Oh was scarce because the game was new and we didn't have much reference to go by because we had the anime, but the anime wouldn't teach us anything useful because there was a lot of shenanigans in the anime. And so what we only had was mostly the video games, and not all video games because some video games had different rule sets from the actual TCG. So it was very possible. It happened to a lot of people, a lot of kids in the old school times, that we didn't know a lot of things, and so we had to make up a lot of things that we didn't know. And this applies to everywhere. So how the school playground meta works is that if no one knows any better, people will always listen to the kid that knows most, like the person who knows more than everyone, even though he doesn't know that much. So he's like the authoritative figure. And then the second way is that the player who is the most secure and the most aggressive with the rulings, so people might listen to them more. So it's more, so these shenanigans are possible if people agree to listen and to play and to abide with these rules. But yeah, anyways, so here we are, and on number 5, and this is very personal because on number 5 we have Magical Ghost. Now this is very, very personal to me because the card reads, this creature casts a spell of terror and confusion just before attacking its enemies. So how I used to play this card, because I didn't know that vanillas didn't do anything. So the only knowledge I had prior to Yu-Gi-Oh was Pokemon, and I knew what confusion meant. So I was like, okay, so this card confuses opponent's monsters. So when they battle, when they attack into it, or when I attack into it, I flip a coin. If it's heads, then the monster survives. If it tails, it's going to kill himself. So that's how I play Magical Ghost. And I'm not saying this was broken, because even in the old school standards, even in the Yugi Kaiba format, this wasn't broken. But what was broken was the fact that we didn't know, like some of us didn't know, that vanillas do nothing and that their texts are just flavor text. So a lot of kids could have made their own interpretations based on either their creativity or what they've seen in the anime. And that's how I miswrote Magical Ghost until a friend told me that, hey, these cards do nothing. So yeah, anyways. And on number 4, so we have the Nomes. Now, Nomes are the term that we use for monsters that cannot be normal summoned or set. So let's take for example Gate Guardian. If you read Gate Guardian, it says, cannot be normal summoned or set. Must first be special summoned from your hand by attributing Sangin of the Thunder, Kasajin, and Suijin. So this is how it reads now. However, there was a time where these Nomes, they read, can only be special summoned, this card can only be special summoned by attributing Sangin of the Thunder, Kasajin, and Suijin. So this is very confusing because it implies that, okay, that's fair enough, I can't special summon it, so I can't use Monster Reborn, that's fair, but I can still tribute summon. So I could still tribute 2 monsters and then summon Gate Guardian if I wanted to. because it says it can only be special summoned by. But then we found out that this text means that it cannot be normal summoned nor set, and we also have referenced the video games. So yeah, this is a confusion that happened to a lot of people. And in my school specifically, there was a card named Hero Emerges that was very interesting because it says, when an opponent's monster declares an attack, your opponent chooses one random card from your hand. Then if it was a monster that can be special summon it. Otherwise, send it to the graveyard. So that was this is the errata right now. However, the errata that we had before, it just said, if it's a monster, special summon it, and that's it. So what if it's a monster that cannot be special summoned? So Gate Guardian says it cannot be special summoned, but a Hero Emerges says that I have to special summon it. So which one do I listen to? So in my school we ruled it as this card letting you summon any monster, including Gate Guardian, including Perfect the Ultimate Great Moth, etc. So yeah, this is number 4. And now on number 3 on number 3 we have an interaction that I think it still happens today with new players, and I think it happened to almost everyone, and it feels like a rite of passage, right? So yeah, I'm talking about Mystical Space Typhoon, because it says that it destroys a spell or trap card, but people didn't know before many rules in Yu-Gi-Oh, and so if you destroy it, if I activate a Dark Hole and my opponent activates a Mystical Space Typhoon, why, if Dark Hole got destroyed, why would it not negate? So there's no trap hole because I destroyed it, right? So a lot of people didn't know that the actual rule is that it doesn't negate unless we're talking about a field spell, continue spell, or trap and equip spells. So that's the only scenarios. Those are the only scenarios that actually do stop the effect, but you can't stop a heavy storm by activating Mystical Space Typhoon. However, in the school playground Yu-Gi-Oh that I imagine still happens today, a lot of people do not know this ruling, and it has become a meme. It's really big, so yeah, that's number 3. And then on number 2 we have the erratas that we didn't follow. So let's take for example Scolaire, and if you look at the old card effect for Scolaire when it was first released, it would allow you to banish any card from your graveyard to destroy a monster with a level equal to the cards that you banished. So it was errata, so that only monster cards can be removed. But the problem was that even though we were aware that 2 versions of the card exist, even years after one card was officially errata by Konami, players usually thought that the card text that reads is the card text that goes. So if I have one Scolaire right from the first edition Labyrinth of Nightmare, and then I have the errata reprint, I can have both in my deck and they will do 2 different things. So under that logic, we have our first example, which is Inferno Queen Archfiend, because the first errata said that it boosts the attack, but not until the end phase. It will boost in each standby phase 1000 attack points permanently. So you could wait like a number of turns and this card would be really huge in attack. And by playground Yu-Gi-Oh standards, where people didn't have access to many cards, and maybe the only out that they're playing are one Dark Hole, right? And then so this card could have been insane. It was actually part of my deck, of my insane Shenanigans deck. But there is another example that I think has happened to almost everyone, or I mean almost every school, which is the Ocean Dragon Lord example. Because as we know, this card, you have to tribute. It's another Nome that you have to tribute Levia Dragon in order to summon. But when it was first printed, it didn't say how you can summon it. It only said the effect. And even though Konami said that this is a Nome and the way to play it is like this, and the ones that you have are wrong, people would still play with the current effect. So this is a broken card in the sense that if this card resolves, you win the game. So because of this, at least in my area, in the school playground area, I would see a lot of water decks because of this card, because it's an auto win card almost, and it had no summoning restriction, so you could tribute summon or special summon with Monster Reborn, because a lot of us didn't play with Boundless either. So yeah, very interesting. So this is the number 2, and now on number 1, and this is very personal to me because my school playground deck had a Pyramid of Light. And now Pyramid of Light is a card that was released in the 2004 movie that says if this card is removed from the field, you destroy Anzo Sphinx and Sphinx-Teleia, and that's it. However, if you read Anzo Sphinx and Sphinx-Teleia, they say that you can pay 500 life points to special summon this card when Pyramid of the Light is on the field. So here's when the shenanigan comes, because I asked a judge in a locals where can I special summon Anzo Sphinx and Sphinx-Teleia from the hand or the deck, and the judge answered both, which was really wrong. But I wouldn't argue with the judge, because in my head, if it's a Yu-Gi-Oh judge, then he had to study Yu-Gi-Oh law to be here, so of course he's gonna be right? So I had a deck with Pyramid of the Light and Anzo Sphinx and Sphinx-Teleia, and then it was really funny because I took that a step further, because it also didn't say when I can do that. So I would activate Pyramid of Light and then quick effect, pay 1000 life points and special summon them both at the same time. So it was really funny because my opponent activates Dark Hole. Okay, I chain Pyramid of Light, I pay 1000, I special summon Anzo Sphinx and Sphinx-Teleia. On your turn, they both get destroyed, and now I summon Tainin the Great Sphinx. And this card can only be special summoned when Anzo Sphinx and Sphinx-Teleia are destroyed at the same time. So when this monster comes, you pay 500 life points to bring it in, and you pay 500 more, and you're gonna increase his attack for one turn to 65. So that was really insane, and because of the way I was playing the deck, it was really insane, because I would play Cyberjar, I would play MST to destroy my Pyramid, Dark Hole. So I would trigger these two with Pyramid of the Light, and then I would use a way to destroy the Anzo Sphinx and Sphinx-Teleia. It was really broken, especially because Pyramid of Light on the battle phase, you're gonna attack directly, Pyramid of Light, special summon from the deck, you're not gonna attack anymore. So yeah, and I think a lot of people also had this problem, right, where can you special summon this card from your hand or deck? So Dark Sage can be special summoned from the deck, Red F Black Metal Dragon can be special summoned from the deck, but then there's Gate Guardian or Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth that can only be special summoned from the hand. So yeah, this was my number 1 playground shenanigan, and there was a reason I was the best kid, the best player in my school, it wasn't because I was Lucas Gaylor. It was just because I would play these broken cards or these broken shenanigans, and then people had no chance against me. And yeah, I did every single shenanigan you see here. I am guilty of it. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you some other time.